Okay, this video might get a little long, so I'd like to make a couple announcements here at the beginning of the video, because most of you probably won't make it to the end. First, the two ladies, I think it's Kelly and Teresa, I might correct me if I'm wrong, sent me a Christmas card. I need you to send me something in the mail with a way to contact you. I can send a text message over the internet, or I can, you can send me an email and I can contact you back. I'm locked out of my Proton, can't get back in there, and I have no way to contact you. So please get in touch with me. And April, Kelly, and Teresa, please get in touch with me. Send me something that I can get in touch with you. I don't want to put up another email. It's just going to get destroyed again until this individual who has some kind of beef with me, thinking I took down their channel, gets over their self. Also, those of you who are interested in joining our group for the eclipse in April, and we're going to be meeting in Tallahassee, Oklahoma. Again, stay to the end. I'll be giving an update and what you need to know and how it's all going to go down at the end of this, all the logistics. Okay, now this video, I'm going to start this video with a project that's been in the works for a very long time, which is tarot. I have been trying to wrap my mind around the symbolism of tarot. It has been around for a very long time. There are many different decks. I've been watching different tarot readers, trying to just understand what am I looking at. I understand the premise and the purpose and how tarot works, but I need to know why. What is the symbolism that invokes these energies that are associated with these cards? Now, I also understand, after spending literally about 3 years doing this, that I have no knack for it whatsoever. I can't seem to get past the symbolism in it. I can't reconcile it. Now, I've had somebody working with me years ago when I first moved to Colgate. One of my subscribers showed up at my door at probably the worst shape I've been in a long time. I had been eating watermelon, and it really done my spleen in, and it kicked off my TMJ, and I literally was on death's door when I met him. But he does tarot, and he's from Texas, so, and his job, he spends a lot of time coming through here. So in the past 3 years, I've spent quite a bit of time around him. As a matter of fact, he's here right now. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And he does tarot. He was a former Jehovah's Witness who kind of woke up when he was 30 to what was really going on. And he went into tarot and yoga, and very open-minded to just trying to check everything out and see what's really going on, like the rest of us have done. Who knows what the truth is? That's what we're all looking for. Excuse me. So, we have been working together to try to put together a tarot deck. Now, I have banged my head against the wall for 3 years over this symbolism. I've got the alchemical symbolism down and the astrology symbolism down, but I didn't know how to adapt it to make what I would call an alchemical tarot deck. And we knew we would need an artist to do this. Me, I don't have an artistic bone in my body. I never have. I love art. I love the beauty of it. I can see a lot of symbolism in the art, but there was just something missing for me. And it took me 3 years, and I finally woke up, and I realized what tarot actually was. why the art? Why is the symbolism hidden in the art? Because that's the only way they could do it back then. It was kind of a hidden thing, an occult thing, a lot of times an outlawed thing. So to actually do it, you had to hide it in the art, which is the elite do this. The elite hide a lot of symbolism that is in art. A symbol carries a frequency, which is an energy, which is very powerful. It kind of makes sense when you understand why the elite would spend millions on a painting, because there's more to that painting than what you actually realize. Excuse me. I'd like to quote something real quick. Hold on. I'd like to quote myself. Hold on. Okay, we're going to start by quoting Confucius. The world is not ruled by words or by laws, but by signs and symbols. I 100% agree with this. The universe, nature, our dream state, and our subconscious mind do not communicate in language, but in symbolism, just like the tarot deck does. It's an interface. It's a form of communication with the universe or other entities outside of the realm of the body. The God of the Old Testament law thought symbols so powerful, so dangerous, that of only 10 laws to live by, the second law forbids any graven image, which is a sign, a symbol, an icon, a logo, of anything in the earth, in the seas, which is water, or in the heavens, which is air, because he's a burning bush fire god. Alchemy elements of earth, water, fire, and air, aka heaven. All 4 are trinities, for all things come in threes. So trying to wrap my mind around the art. What kind of art do we want on this tarot deck? What kind of tarot deck are we creating? What kind of alchemical symbolic tarot deck are we creating? And it hit me. Everything's out in the open now. There's no need to hide anything anymore. There's no need to hide anything in the art. The symbols now should speak for themselves, not in some picture. There's nothing hidden that will not be revealed. And it's literally time. It was like I was given a big go signal to make a tarot deck with no art. Make it pure symbolism. This is not a very good picture, but it gets my point across. The alchemical table of symbols. It coincides with the periodic table of elements. And in it you also have the constellations and the symbols of alchemy, which are not correct. I'm going to do a corrected one. But we have, and these symbols, again, not correct. They need to be corrected. But we're going to do all of these symbolisms on a deck of cards. And on each card, we will list what planet it's associated with, what chakra it's associated with, what cross it's associated with, what pillar in Freemasonry, what path in the Kabbalah. We're going to go through all of it, right down to the fingers on your hands and your toes. They're the same. Your toes and your hands would do the same thing. And we're going to associate all that with it, so that it literally is a pure alchemical tarot deck that needs no art. That way it can be easily learned. It's to help you. Can only be an interface and used as a tarot deck, but it can also teach you symbolism. The repetition of it, you'll get it down. I want to do a deck with a really good book in it, not one of these little things that you need a microscope to read it. Something that you can actually be useful to you. In the book, I want to include the chakra man, the pillars, the paths, the crosses, all of it, everything, the palmistry, because there are only a few laws and alchemy, and one of them is the law of correspondence, that all things are related. All things come in threes. We've seen this. We've talked about this over and over and over and over. Now it's time to put it all together in one comprehensive package. Now, to do this, we realize we're going to have funding. So I want to utilize another principle of alchemy, and it's the law of equivalent exchange. To get something, you must give something. So we've decided that instead of asking for donations to help get this project off the ground and actually get it manufactured, or starting a GoFundMe, that just seems really kind of, I don't know, pointless. I can literally beg for donations all day on my channel, and it you know, you might get one or two. So that's just not a feasible way to go about this. So what we want to do is we've decided to create a Patreon channel. They're about the best ones to work with on this level. That way, in turn, we would take the money from the Patreon channel and use it exclusively to manufacture this tarot deck. Everything's already in the works. So all we need to do is put it together, find the funding, or manifest the funding, create the funding, and then do it. And we would like to have it accomplished by this year. I would love to have it so that whoever wanted to order one could and have it for next Christmas. By the end of 2024, I would like to see this project accomplished. Now, how we decided to do this was I'm going to, in my next video, I'm going to do an introduction video so you can meet him. I call him Ali Bobby. So Ali Bobby the tarot reader. So, we're going to do a weekly podcast and maybe some occasional videos within there. So it'll be at least an hour video once a week. We'll do it on the same day every week so that you can know when to expect a video with an occasional surprise video in there. None of these videos will be associated with my channel or YouTube. So if you want to see them, you're going to have to go to Patreon. Again, the law of equivalent exchange. We're going to give you podcast, education, entertainment in exchange for helping us fund this project. I see it more as an educational tool. It would be great for anybody of any age. It's going to be so simple a child can learn it, because we're going to strip away the most difficult part, which to me, at least from where I'm sitting, is the art. The art's beautiful and it's easy to look at, and then you can grasp what emotion and everything is going on, what energy's going on, but you don't see the symbolism. And a lot of the tarot decks that are out there, quite clearly to me, they don't have a damn clue what symbol goes with that card. So instead of trying to reconcile one or make a puzzle piece fit where it don't, we're just going to make the proper alchemical deck and let the symbols and the cards speak for themselves. And that's the project we're going to get off the ground. I don't know. We'll do Mondays or Tuesdays or Wednesdays with Ali, Bobby, and Lavette. I don't know if you've got any good ideas to what to call the podcast. Please let us know. Hopefully, I'm going to have one more video up here on my channel where I'll do an introduction for everybody. And then, hopefully, the very next week, within a week of posting that video, within a fortnight, by Valentine's Day, it should be up and running. And we'll get that going and see if we can't get this off the ground. Now, y'all are gonna love Ali Bobby. He's become a very good close friend to me. When I hurt myself trying to pick up my bed to get Kelly out from under it, he has been diligent to really help me. He's carrying all my heavy stuff. I have what I call erectile dysfunction. I'm getting a lot better. I'm not having to use as many of the pads, the little muscle absorbing junior pads, and I'm on a heating pad every day still, but I can't stand up straight. But I am getting around better. I'm a lot more mobile, and I know I've damaged myself kind of in a permanent situation, but I sure am a lot better than I was, and I'm very grateful for him helping me out. Right now, he's helping me even more. My job has just really been screwed since November. They kicked us off a week in November. So a whole week, that's 25% of your income. It happened again in December. And then in January, instead of kicking us off a whole week, they just dumped our workload by 25%. And when you do production work, now I'm working, it's really made me angry because now I'm having to work every week for less money. And that really kind of pissed everybody off. I put in applications. It's obvious that I am not able to do physical manual labor of any kind now. So I'm stuck with working online. And AI is eating up jobs online. Companies are moving away from, if they can get AI to do it without having to pay somebody, they're on it. So, and I fear that a lot of our jobs are going to go that way as well. It's just a matter of time before AI takes over the entire marketing, the whole platform for everybody, for all advertisers, for all marketing. It's going to be taken over by AI, like all journalism and all media. And Hollywood's in a fight because they know AI is fixing to take over all the writing and all the production and everything. Why pay people when you can get the machine to do it for just the price of your electric bill? Well, so anyway, during January, this has been the toughest month for me. I really thought I was going to go under this month. Right now, he's hauling me around. I didn't meet my bills this month. I could not pay my insurance, and registration is lapsed. So I can't drive my vehicle anywhere without getting a ticket. So I'm parked. And until I can get caught up, he's literally taking me wherever I need to go, carrying all my heavy water and stuff. And he's just been a real lifesaver. But we've taken the time that he spent here to help me to get this together. And it finally just clicked that why am I beating my head against the wall about the art? Because that's been the holdup for months, has been the art. And so just get rid of the art. The card needs nothing but the actual symbol for the energy that it emits and what it correlates to. So that's what we're going to do. And in the next video, y'all are going to get to meet Ollie Bobby. It's O-L-L-I-E, short from Oliver Robert to Ollie Bobby. Okay, now with all of that out of the way, I want to talk about some other stuff. And then in the end, again, stay to the end if you want to know about the logistics for the eclipse gathering. You know, I've talked some about this before, but I'm just going to review this to clarify this, because I think it needs to be understood. This is going to relate back to the Bible, to Genesis. In Genesis, in my interpretation of Genesis, God created male and female on the 6th day, Ish and Isha, and on the 7th day he rested. And then on the 8th day, a different God created Adam. He needed a worker bee. He needed somebody to work the garden for him. So he creates Adam. The first creation were hunter-gatherers. The second creation was the farmer, basically, the husbandryman. And then I also believe there's each age there's a different creation. That DNA is changed and altered. And we get this same thing really in the Nag Hammadi. When Adam is in the Garden of Eden, and Adam and Eve, and he's told, don't touch the tree of knowledge of good and evil, for the day that you do, you will surely die. That's a very interesting statement. It implies that Adam and Eve would have never died. They would have lived forever, which I believe is actually true. And I believe that also that Six-Day Man would have as well, because we have a teaching here in the Nag Hammadi that talks about the autogenes, that what we're experiencing is a copy. It's a copy of the imperishable realm. Let me see if I can find here. I'm going to pause it and find the exact verses I want to use. Alright, and the mind wanted to perform a deed through the word, symbol, of the invisible spirit, and his will became a deed, an action, and it appeared with the mind, and the light glorified it, and the word followed the will, for because of the word, Christ, the divine autogenes, DNA, self-replicating DNA, created everything, and the eternal life, and his will, and the mind, and the foreknowledge attend and glorified the invisible spirit and Barbello, for whose sake they had come into being. And the Holy Spirit completed the divine autogenes, the DNA, that's eternal life, DNA, his Son, together with Barbello, that he may attend the mighty and invisible virginal spirit as the divine autogenes, the Christ, whom he had honored with a mighty voice. It's perfect DNA. What we have now is corrupted DNA. And with what the book of Revelations calls sorcerers, the word comes from the Greek pharmakia, they're corrupting all DNA, not just mankind. Everything on this planet is GMO'd. And now they're coming for us. They want to GMO us. And the Holy Spirit completed the divine autogenes, his Son, together with the Barbello, that he may attend the mighty and invisible virginal spirit as the divine autogenes, the Christ whom he had honored with a mighty voice. That's why we use the term Christ was born without sin. He came forth through the forethought. Forethought, that's planning ahead. That's manifesting the future. And the invisible virginal spirit placed the divine autogenes of truth over everything. It's over everything. And he subjected to him every authority and the truth which is in him. It's in the DNA, that we may know the all, which had been called with the name exalted above every name, for that name will be mentioned to those who are worthy of it. For from the light, which is the Christ, and the indestructibility through the gift of the Spirit of the four lights, appeared from the divine autogenes. The four lights would be the four energies of earth, water, fire, and air. He expected that they might attend him, and the three are will, thought, and life, because all things come in threes. And the four powers, this makes the 12, and the four powers are understanding, grace, perception, and prudence. And that will apply again to the four elements. And grace belongs to the light aeon Armazel, which is the first angel. And there are three other aeons with this aeon, grace, truth, and form. The second light is Oriel, which has been placed over the second aeon. An aeon is 3 ages. It's 3 ages. And there are three other aeons with him: conception, perception, and memory. That's very interesting, because conception can be something you do with the body, or you can have a concept in your mind. A perception and memory are the hippocampus, the seahorse, Pegasus. And the third light is Davyatha, who has been placed over the third aeon. And there are three aeons with him: understanding, love, and idea. And the fourth aeon was placed over the fourth light, Eliath. And there are three aeons with him: perfection, peace, and wisdom. This makes up the whole zodiac. And this was what we were supposed to have. These are the four lights which attended the divine autogenes. I'm going to tell you what they are. These four lights are Aldebaran, Fomalhaut, Regulus, and what is Scorpio? Ooh, how can I forget Scorpio? Hold on. Scorpio is Antares. Antares and Aldebaran, the feminine axis of the fixed cross, and Fomalhaut, Regulus, the masculine axis of the fixed cross. These are considered the four brightest stars in the sky. They make a particular cross in the sky, the fixed cross, and the fixed cross stands out above all the other crosses or constellations, because they've been used forever with navigation. When you're on the water in the middle of nowhere, you're going to be able to identify one of those four stars, and it'll help you determine where you are. And when we look at it in astrology, it helps you determine not where you are, but when you are. And currently we're on the mutable cross, but we're moving back to this cross of these four lights, which attended the divine autogenes, which in our perspective is Aquarius. These are the 12 aeons which attended the Son of the Mighty One, the autogenes, the Christ, through the will and the gift of the invisible Spirit. And the 12 aeons belong to the Son of the autogenes. The offspring are the star, and all things were established by the will of the Holy Spirit through the autogenes. But our genes are corrupted. Adam fell from grace. All of creation fell. All of creation fell. Not just us. It was corrupted, antediluvian, which is before the flood. We can read that in Genesis chapter 6. And it came to pass that when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. That wasn't supposed to happen. There were giants in the earth in those days, and after that, when the sons of God came unto the daughters of men, and they bare children unto them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of his thoughts, the thoughts of his heart, was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them, because they're fallen now. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, in his DNA. And Noah walked with God. Noah had his third eye open. When your third eye is open, you can walk with God whenever you want. The earth also was corrupted before God. The earth was corrupted, and the earth was filled with violence. Sounds like today. For the earth to be corrupted, so it was like what they're doing now. Everything was GMO'd. They have taken over nature. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. And he did. Everything was destroyed. So we get like this do-over after the flood. And it doesn't matter because the sons of God just come back into the daughters of men. And when they reestablish their technology, they're back into taking over the planet and taking over the genetics and all of creation. In their mind, they are God. They don't see that nature has a purpose, that nature is an alchemical process. We do not evolve. We mutate. We transmutate through the ages and through the elements. We are forever becoming. Alchemy and nature actually have a purpose, and that is the philosopher's stone. That's what that is. To take us back here. Now we're told in Revelations, well, throughout the New Testament, that when the kingdom comes, it's coming to restore all things. It's going to restore us back to this. It's going to put us right back here. Back into the pure autogenes. Everything is going to be corrected. There's going to be a great, not a reset, but a great restoration. It's going to restore all things. That includes nature, you and me, all of creation. Back to the divine autogenes. That's where we're going. And all of this corruption is going to be done away with. It won't stand. Nothing they're doing is going to stand. I can't wrap my mind around why they think they want to do it. Just really doesn't make sense. But I stop really wasting too much time trying to think what they think and just get on with what's being presented to us. Because they do tell us what they're going to do before they do it. We're just too stupid and have never been taught the language that they're speaking. Which is, they speak with forked tongue. So you gotta have forked ears to hear, or forked eyes to hear and forked ears to see. Is what you gotta do. Now, I want to talk, the reason I'm bringing this up about the restoration of all things, and this is what we're going to be restored to, is because the way that these powers that be operate, obviously, is we're allowed so many years before they do a reset. They have a goal. So they allow us to go on as what we call normal, which is not normal at all. But from our perspective, it's as normal as it gets until they achieve their goal. And then they do a reset on everybody. So we have no idea what history is. We have no idea what truth is. We have no idea of who we are, why we're here, or where we're going. We're freaking clueless because they keep doing this reset on us. Well, my advice to you is don't worry about their resets. They're meaningless. In the end, we're all going here, back to the restoration, not the reset. Now, a reset can be a good thing. I recommend that don't worry about their reset. You reset you. If your life is not going right, then reset it. Generally, if our lives are not going right, we're stuck in those lower chakras. You're down there in worry, and being this worldly thing that's going on. Getting caught up in the ho-hum of everyday life. Just trying to survive. Just trying to keep a meal on the table. I know. The past few months I have struggled like I have not struggled in years. I'm talking about pinching pennies, counting pennies, and deciding who don't get paid this month. And we all are doing whatever we got to do. But you can't let that rule you. You can't let it take away your joy, take away your expectations, take away your dreams. Because when you do, you're locked into those lower chakras, and you don't want to be there. I don't know when, and I really don't even know how, but I know something wonderful is coming. And it's so wonderful that it's scaring the hell out of the elite. To me, there's nobody more terrified on this planet. Nobody that lives in greater fear than them. Because they know they're exposed right now. They know they're exposed, and it's just a matter of time before the general population turn on them. And they're doing everything they can to pull off this global coup. And that's what it is. It's a global coup. They want to overthrow every government on the planet so they can replace it with their own. They want to throw over every monetary system on the planet so they can take it over with their own. They want to throw every educational system over. They want to control it with technology, with pharmaceuticals, with whatever they can. And it's kind of like Matt says, worry about yourself. Well, reset yourself. Don't worry about them. Worry about yourself by resetting yourself. It's as simple as a choice of just saying no. I'm not going to let the trials and tribulation of this life keep me from my joy, from being grateful, from being in the upper chakras. I don't even want to call it hope, because hope implies something unknown. This is a fact. We should know this, that the restoration is coming, and it's not going to restore us to anything we've ever known, because the true creation, the original creation that we're told about here, is what we're going to get. Now, when we drop down into here, we learn about this archon, Yaldabaoth, and Cyclas and Samael, that has a whole nother creation. They also had a creation. So to me, this is like the first creation is 6-day man, and then this Yaldabaoth creation down here is what we're living in now. It's what we're living in now. And it's a copy of the imperishable realm. It's not the real one. It's just a copy. And in the names which were given to them by their originator, there was power, but the names which were given them according to the glory which belongs to heaven mean for them destruction and powerlessness. Thus, they have two names. They have two names. And we've been seeing that. It's like when I read the New Testament, I can actually see what I refer to as the two Jesuses. There's two. There's one for the age of Pisces, and there's one for the kingdom that's coming. There's one that they talk about in the black and white words, and there's the one that speaks in the red words. That's why I like the red letter edition, because those words they should not ever be corrupted. Everything else was just a story built around it, around those words. And the arrogant one took a power from his mother, for he was ignorant, thinking that there existed no other except his mother alone. And when he saw the multitudes of the angels which he had created, then he exalted himself above them. So he created a whole nother creation. A whole nother creation. But it's not a perfect creation. It's the one we're living in. Let us call him Adam. But this is not the original creation. We're not living in it. But we're going to. All things are going to be restored. And that restoration is going to come with the true age of Aquarius, or what I call kingdom come. Seek ye first the kingdom. A kingdom is a king and his dominion. And in the zodiac, there's only one, and that's Aquarius. And the Aramaic zodiac, we get Aquarius as the king. Using the New Testament translations, we get Aquarius as the Star of Bethlehem, as the Lamb of God. And the Greek zodiac, we get Aquarius as the crown chakra, and its upper house, Pegasus, as our memory, the hippocampus, the seahorse. So all that's going to be restored to us. And we can do our own reset in our lives. Actually, we should do them daily. Every day is a reset. Every time you go to sleep and you wake up, it's a new day. It's a reset. It's another chance. Everybody, not just everybody, everything that was ever created, whether it's in this messed up reality or in the eternal reality, has a purpose. And that is innate in us. For some reason, it's not just in humans, but animals also. Everything and everybody needs a purpose. Or what's your reason for being here? You're just dead weight if you don't have a purpose. You need to give something back. Again, alchemical tenet. To get something, you must give something of equal value. Or of value. It doesn't have to be equal, as long as it's agreed upon. But, yes, reset yourself and stay in the upper chakras. To me, the first creation is a complete upper chakra creation, and the second creation is a lower chakra creation that we've been in for a very long time. But finally, we're going to get to, this is the end of it. Obviously, this Satan character's loosed. He knows his time is short. Him and his little minions are terrified of what? Of us, or of this true light that's coming that will definitely expose them. All right, I'm going to pause for a second, get me something to drink, take me a quick break, and then we'll get into the eclipse updates. Okay, we're going to be meeting here in a little out of the place, nowhere town called Tallahena, Oklahoma. Let's see if I can back this out some. We're going to be meeting here, literally in the middle of nowhere. We're going to go up here on Talamina Drive and watch the eclipse. It'll happen right after lunch, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're going to go up here. I was thinking about 3 sticks, but I'm not sure there would be enough parking, and there would probably be a lot of other people there. But there are a lot of these little scenic turnouts through there that you can just pull over, and they have parking and bathrooms and stuff that 3 Sticks doesn't necessarily have. So we're going to use one of the overlooks or lookout points up there. And it's going to be really cool. Now, as far as accommodations go, let me get this right. Hootie Creek Guest House is going to be our main, the main place we're going to stay. Let's check out some photos so you can get a general idea of what this is. Now, everybody is already ramping up because Talihina is in the totality. We will get a full coverage part of the eclipse. And there's not a lot of places to stay here. And this town is really ramping up for this, so they're expecting a lot of people to come in. So if you, instead of trying to get everybody together and get deposits and do this and do that, I'm just going to leave it to everybody to make their own arrangements, and I'm going to show you your options. I'm going to give you several options here. Number 1, Hootie Creek. There are only 11 rooms, but you can share. If you want to hook up with somebody else on the channel, and y'all can pitch in and divide the cost for your rooms, and that way you can stay as many days as you like. Myself, I'm going to try to spend a total of 3 days there. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Or Sunday, come in a day early and spend Sunday, Monday, eclipse day, and then Tuesday. Now, let's check some pictures so you can see what this is about. They're small rooms, but they've been redone. And they're all in the old style. It's a really beautiful place. It has a outdoor deck with a pergola. All that's been redone. There's a little coffee shop across the street where everybody can get coffee. There's one other hotel. There used to be 2. Well, a long time ago there used to be more, but they seem to all burn down. But right now there is another little hotel in town at the other end of town. You're welcome to look that up and possibly make reservations for there as well. My second option for you is Horsehaven Ranch in Talihina. These cabins sleep 6 people. They have 6 fully equipped luxury cabins, and they come with a barn. This is where you take your horse on vacation, literally. For those of you who have horses and want to bring them, you don't have to bring your horse here. You can just stay in the cabin. And they also have RV sites that you can, you can stay in your own RV or your own camper or just your van or whatever you want to do. But this is everything that's going on here, what all you get. And you can call and check out the rates for everything's changing. It's no need of me giving you a rate because they're going to change them for the eclipse dates, which is bogus, but that's what they're doing. So, you can check out these, but Horsehaven Ranch is beautiful. The cabins are awesome. Let's see if I can we get some pictures? There used to be images. Okay, I have some that other people have posted. This is what the cabins look like here. They're really nice. They sleep up to 6 people. You have your own stall at your cabin so that you can keep your horse literally with you. They have a corral. They have all kind of stuff. This is just really a great place. So you have these that'll six people if you want to get a group together, or you just want a really nice place to stay. Again, there are other RV sites all over this place. And there are Fraser Creek cabins. These are just little bitty cabins that you can rent. And there are several of these little like cabin rentals all over these mountains. All you got to do is just a little bit of homework. Now, for those of you on a budget and you have a camper, there's state parks here that you can just roll into and park. They have bathrooms. You can stay up on top of Talamina Drive. Again, they have barbecue pits and fire pits and bathrooms and all kind of stuff where you can just go camping. You can rent a campsite or you can stay in your vehicle. You can bring a tent and go camping, literally. Our options for accommodations are really endless. But again, I'm going to leave that up to everybody to do themselves. Okay, as far as eats go, there's not a lot. There really isn't a lot in Tallahassee to eat. But there is a Subway. Most people eat at Pam's Diner, which is right across the street from Hootie Creek. I'm not sure if Hootie is going to have their bed and breakfast part up and running then or not, but I'm assuming that they are. You might be able to get food there. Now, as far as vegan food, you might need to bring your own. There's really not a grocery store per se in Tallahassee. They used to have one, but now it's like a Family Dollar marketplace. But I wouldn't really call it a full grocery store. But they do have produce and stuff there, so you'll be able to get something there anyway. So there are several restaurants in town, from barbecue to just Pam's is country food, country fried steak, that kind of thing. It used to be different. There used to be pizza places and all kind of stuff there, but things change. And Tallahassee has changed. So for those of you who have special dietary needs or preferences, you might need to make sure you accommodate yourself. Now, my end of what's going on, the logistics that I need to take care of. I'm still trying to lock down a venue. I want a place that, regardless of where you're staying or regardless of where you're eating, that we can all come together. That we can all have one venue. There are going to be several of us there that are going to, I'll just put it this way. The venue's purpose is so that we can discuss with all of you. We're going to have, Ollie Bobby's going to be there, and he does tarot. I'm going to be there. We have our in-house resident one of my subscribers, Margie, is coming from Texas, and she does regression therapy. We have a masseuse on hand. There's all kind of stuff, and everybody's contributing. If you would like to be a contributor to this, to where you can give a lecture or speak or just talk about what you do, offer your services, and make that available to everybody if they're interested in it. And I'm going to talk about the eclipse, and I'm going to talk about astrology, and I'm going to talk about symbolism and what all this means and what all's going on. And so we need a venue for this. So I'm going to try to get a place that will hold as many people as possible. So no matter how many of you come, that can be room. And to be a part of that, there will be a small fee, because I'm going to have to pay for the venue. I'm going to have to put a deposit on it, and which is for cleaning after we're through with it. And then I want to provide something for you guys. Some fruit, some finger sandwiches, some drinks, just stuff while you're there at this, whatever we're going to pull together. You can have some refreshments. So we can just have a whole day where it's meet and greet everybody and talk and share. And, there's so many of you that I've been just really wanting to meet, and I'm sure vice versa. A lot of you that's just really wanted to meet me. Well, now's your opportunity to do that. So I'll get back with you later on what venue we're going to get, how many people it'll hold, and what our price range is on it, what we're going to have to pay for it, and whether we'll have it for 1, 2, or 3 days. Probably 2 days, because one day we're going to be spending that time up on the mountain. Okay. And then everybody's going to have, if you want to, again, if you want to add in your services, if you have something you can contribute to this, then by all means, get in touch with me, leave a comment, send me a letter, something. We've got till April to work out all the logistics. In the meantime, I recommend that if you're serious about coming, you need to make some kind of reservations for your accommodations. If you're going to be staying in one of the 2 local hotels, I think the other one is like, it's right down here. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. It's down, stop it. The Rockin' H Inn. Rockin' H Inn. Over here. This is the other hotel that's in town. It's just a little motel. Just your basic run-of-the-mill motel room. So you have 2, the Rockin' H and the Hootie Creek. If you want to go luxury, you have the Horse Having Ranch. If you want to go secluded, you got Fraser Creek. You've got all kind of RV sites. There's several cabin outfits in that area. There's one right up by 3 Sticks called the Peckerwood, and they have little cabins and RV sites. And some of them are very reasonable, and some of them may not be gouging for the eclipse on their rates. But just check around and see what's available and what you might like. And you can check out Tallahena and see what it's all about. My advice is do your homework, be prepared. Worst comes to worst, nobody's going to be left out in the cold. If you show up and your craps fell through or you don't have accommodations, I'm sure we can find a pillow and a nice comfortable place for you to sleep. Myself, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I don't want to drive back and forth right now. I can't even drive back and forth. I've still got to come up with the money to reinsure my vehicle, which is why I'm not going to use donations from my channel, because I need my channel to help me make ends meet. What few donations I get, I really appreciate. I mean, the next thing that if I have to cut another one, it will be my internet. I can't cut water. I can't cut power. You got to have those to live. So if I've got to cut one more bill, it's my internet. And if I do that, I lose everything. So, please do. If you can contribute to my channel, if my channel or videos have helped you in any way, please consider making a donation. Help me dig myself out of this hole I've been in. Or better yet, if you know of any online work that's steady and that pays well, or pays at all really, please let me know. I am looking to find another gig before I end up with a pink slip on this one. I definitely can't afford another pay cut. Alright, let me make sure I've got everything in order before I close this video out. Oh, I'm really glad I checked myself, because I wanted to talk about the cats. I want to thank you people who really helped me out with the cats last year. I couldn't have done it without you. And I can't tell you how many cats have a better life now because you helped. And right now I don't have a fresh litter, but I have a litter that was born across the street, and the mother is now rejecting them, so they're coming over to eat. And I have one from last year's litter that I became attached to. I kept the runt. There were 2 runts, and one of them didn't make it. But one of them did, and I really didn't think she was going to make it. And she's just really now starting to grow. She's 9 or 10 months old, and she doesn't look 5 months old. She's just a tiny little thing. But I have become extremely attached to her. She's not feral anymore. I have two tomcats that are, well, they're outside cats, but they're no longer feral. If anybody's looking for a tomcat or an outside cat, they would be great. And they're really sweet cats. And I've noticed that it seems like in every litter there's a kitten that gets rejected. And this litter that just came over from across the street, I'd say they're about 3 or 4 months old. And one of them is just sat and froze its ass off out in this cold. I've tried to make them a little shelter, but for some reason they seem too stupid to get in it. They just pile up in this little wad. And the little runt that I kept, I call her Miss Meow Meow, she's kind of taken over being their mother. So they pile up on her. And there's just this little ball of cats. It's the cutest thing you've ever seen. But I love them to death. I love the cats. I'm still going through about, it's about $25 a week to feed the cats. I'm going through about a 20 to 25 pound bag of food a week for them. Because at night I have a lot of strays that are coming up from down the street. And I don't mind them. If they're hungry and they need to come eat, come eat. But right now I just have the 2 mothers. Everybody else got homes or spaded or just moved on. A couple of males that kind of hang around. Hopefully or thankfully, to the best of my knowledge right now, we don't have one pregnant. I haven't seen what I call Mama Cat in a while, so I'm kind of worried about her. The one that's, her eyes don't dilate and she's cross-eyed, and I think she's deaf too. But bless her heart, she is the sweetest cat. But I am turning into a cat person, literally. I've never liked cats, never been around them, but this little Miss Meow Meow has really just stolen my heart. She's really come around. I didn't think she'd make it. She's a little tuxedo cat, little black and white. The only black and white one left out of all of them. This is the last one. Everybody else are gray tabbies. The mamas are tortoises. And I did have one Seal Point Siamese show up last night to eat. And this is somebody else's cat. This is not a stray cat. This cat was beautiful. It was well groomed, well fed, and had a collar on. So that was definitely somebody's cat. But boy, it was beautiful. Beautiful chocolate face and that white gray. It was just gorgeous. I wish if we're going to have another litter that I hope it's a male and I hope that one's the daddy. But I am definitely turning into a cat person. I'm just not sure I'm ready to let one in the house yet. I'm fearful of what Kelly would do to it. But if anything ever happened to her, she's my last dog. I don't want another one. I'm just no longer able to take care of her. I'm getting old. To only be 60, my body. Oh my gosh. I put it through the ringer in my lifetime. And I'm so damaged that it's hard. It's just hard for me. I don't get around good anymore. Like I said, Ollie Bobby makes fun of me because I keep saying I can't stand up straight, so I have erectile dysfunction, and it takes me a while. And not very often these days can I stand up straight. All right, people, y'all know what to do. I'm going to close this video out now. Go commit your random act of kindness. Bank your karma. It's going to pay off for you. We're all going to need it. Every one of us are going to need it. We've all made the mistakes in our life and made the bad choices, and a lot of times just been willfully and knowingly malicious or hateful or spiteful or just all kind of manner of lower chakra vibrations. And we need to balance that out. And I would like to leave you with one verse. This is 1 Peter 4:8. And above all things, have fervent charity or love among yourselves, for charity or love covereth the multitude of sins. Just one kind deed can cover a multitude of sins. And you really don't know, just that smile, opening that door, being kind and saying thank you, being patient with someone who's really stressed out. Those are random acts of kindness. It doesn't have to be giving money or even your giving of your time, even though those are great things to do. It's the little things that come from the heart. The intention must be there. You need to know willingly that you're doing this out of love, out of kindness, and that you're making an effort to balance your own karma. Whether from this life or another life, if there are other lives or any of that. It's just when your heart's weighed against that feather, your heart must be lighter than that feather. And that the weight of the heart is guilt and shame and, we all tend to be our own worst critics. I know that I am. I'm my own worst critic. Nobody has to bother criticizing me. I do it to myself. I know my weaknesses, my failures, everything that I've done wrong. I'm quite aware of it. And I don't need reminded. I remind myself all the time. And I have my own burdens, my own heavy heart that I deal with. And so this is how you keep in that upper chakra. Don't let it push you down. Let's just do this. For as much then as Christ has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourself likewise with the same mind. For he that hath suffered in the flesh had ceased from sin, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of God. For the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revellings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. Who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead? For this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to the men in the flesh, but live according to the Spirit in God. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober, and watch unto prayer. And above all things, have fervent charity, love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man hath received the gift, even so minister the same one to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. Alright, people, love you bunches. You know what to do. And if my videos have helped you, won't you please make a donation and help me keep them coming to you? I really don't want to lose my internet.